from high atop which mountain? It's the IGN Digigods. So take off your thinking caps and please welcome two men who know exactly what's eating Gilbert Grape, Wade Major and Mark Kaiser.
It's yet another vintage opener. We're getting very close to getting the new ones all done up. I just have to sit down and do the work. Get them all compiled, get them all together.
That's
get all
true.
of our new opens. We just have to get them together, get them recorded, do that hard thing that we do. You know,
Okay.
I don't know.
You know, it may not be Announcer Bob, by the way.
Well,
I believe we might have a new announcer.
Well, you know, we'll tease that when the time comes.
We just did.
Yeah, I guess we did, didn't we?
Let's talk about DVDs, Wade. You have we have like a thousand billion DVDs.
It is a Halloween week, and we got a pile of Halloween titles here, just going through the roof. So but we got to pick up last week. We didn't get to any television, and so we need to knock out a little bit of the TV that we didn't get to last week, like the complete second season of Hung. See, we're getting right into it right now. There's no chit chat. There's no who'd you see at the supermarket. Oh, I saw Ozzy Osbourne at CVS picking up some methadone. None of that.
And I don't get to talk about how I am now obsessed with buying a cast iron skillet. I want to cook with cast iron.
I do too.
But I think cast iron might be a pain in the ass.
No.
Because you got to season it all the time. You got to put oil on it and wipe the oil off.
Oh, no. You know what brand are you looking at?
Well, I would get either like a. Are we really going to have this conversation?
We should. We should. What brand are you looking at?
Okay. Well, I was either going to get a Lodge. Like just your typical Grizzly Adams Frontier skillet.
Right.
Or maybe, La Crusette.
No, don't go with Le Creuset.
What is it?
Staub.
People talk about them.
Yeah, Staub.
Why do you like them?
Because they're like Le Creuset, but better.
Really?
Yeah.
That says who?
It says me. That's all you need to know.
Well, what is this, La Creuset?
Yeah, no, it's Staub. Staub. It's the best.
They sell it at Williams
Especially-
Sonoma.
yes,
Now,
they
how
do.
do you know that? Who told you that?
We research things. Yes.
Smart.
In fact, I'm such a snob now that all of our cookware, I want to replace it all with Demayer. See, you've never heard of Demayer? They make it in Belgium. It's beautiful.
Actually,
Not just Demayer.
Actually, I have, but I didn't go on the site.
Not just Demayer, but the John Pawson line of Demayer. John Pawson being the great English architect. He did a specially designed line for Demayer. It's John Pawson. The John Pawson
we're really
Demayer.
having this conversation.
Yes,
so you are going to actually buy a Staub.
Yeah.
Skillet? Is it
Yeah.
it's all that preseason crap, right?
Yeah.
But the thing with cast iron skillets is that it's like every time you use it, you've got to re-season it, and you got to put lard on it.
Not necessarily. Okay, so the complete second season of Hung. Wow, look at that! It coincides with the premiere recently, earlier this month of season 3 of Hung on HBO. What we have here is the second season of Hung on Blu-ray. Not entirely sure why this needs to be on Blu-ray, other than the fact that it's actually shot and aired in high def, but it's not really a high def show. Nobody watches Hung and says, "Oh my gosh, that was just visually so spectacular," and the lossless audio of the actors talking is just so incredible. It's it's a show about a guy who's basically a male prostitute. That's sort of the deal, right? Isn't that it?
That is the deal. You know what?
I mean, I'd like to try and see something else in the show, but all I can sort of see is that it's basically a show about Fred Garvin, male prostitute. You remember that? Yes.
Fred Garvin, male prostitute.
Oh,
and you know what? I'm sort of a fan of Thomas Jane, but he was the worst Punisher ever. Remember, he was the Punisher.
Oh my gosh! Yes,
the worst.
He was.
With John Travolta as the villain. Memory serves.
He's really terrific in Boogie Nights, though.
Sure,
he's good.
And he's good in Deep Blue Sea, which is a film I like. The Rennie Harlan underwater thing.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I mean, it's fine. The show's fine. It's just it's fine. Okay. Moving on.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Moby Dick. This is a completely unnecessary television version of Moby Dick. I don't know why they did this, but I guess to give some employment to William Hurt and Donald Sutherland, who, for whatever reason, felt that they needed to measure themselves against better actors.
So I was reading this article in Esquire magazine.
Yeah.
about a TV pilot that was shot, didn't get picked up for a sitcom, and Sutherland, who I've always liked, Sutherland was in this pilot. And in the pilot, I'm trying to remember this because I forgot we were going to talk about Sutherland. In the pilot, the author says that Sutherland, not really a sitcom guy, but he did this pilot. He insisted on a very specific brand of like Swedish underwear. Like you had to get Donald Sutherland this particular brand of underwear made only in Sweden or Denmark.
Why?
I don't know, but he just had to have that underwear.
Okay,
so
right.
they got him the underwear.
All right. Well, Ethan Hawke's in this, and so is Gillian Anderson, and it's directed by Mike Barker, who is an English director, and I don't know. I mean, he's done a few films worth doing. Some period stuff. He did like the Lorna Doone TV movie and A Good Woman. Did you ever see A Good Woman?
I did not.
Good Woman's pretty good.
No, it's not.
No, Good Woman's not bad. He also did a thing called Shattered, not the Wolfgang Peterson Shattered, but a different film called Shattered. No, Good Woman's pretty good. It's got, it's based on the Oscar Wilde play, Scarlett Johansson, Tom Wilkinson. Anyway, no, this is not that good. It's just look. You just keep comparing it to the John Huston film, which had a script by Ray Bradbury.
Very good film. It was actually called Moby Richard. Because it was a very serious adaptation. Yeah. All right, speaking of series, Outsourced, the complete series. This is the NBC show that lasted a couple seasons. It is it's a sitcom, takes place in an Indian workplace. Of course, this is supposed to be, it's supposed to be hearkening to these modern times of outsourcing and Indians, all people from India answering
tech support,
and
so forth.
Whatnot. It just didn't really work.
No. What's ironic is that this show should have been outsourced to India, but it was actually shot here in L.A.
I don't get it.
Big problem.
Anyway, this is the complete series. This is the whole darn tootin' thing. There's a gag reel, a couple commentaries, deleted scenes, not funny, and I'd pass.
There it is. Captain America, we're going to be talking about the Captain America movie pretty soon here. That comes out this week as well. But I'm also going to talk about the action-packed double feature Captain America of the original television movie Captain America. No, not the one that we talked about a few weeks ago. This is the one that preceded even that one. This was the original Captain America movie starring Reb Brown. And it comes on here also with a sequel that I don't think I ever saw, Captain America 2, Death Too Soon, which is just absolutely horrible. You know what? I don't know how I even took this seriously at the time, but I was a kid. Did you ever see this when it was first aired, Mark?
I saw the original.
1979?
Yeah, I saw that. The Reb Brown. I didn't see
the sequel? I know. I don't think any of us ever saw the sequel. No. I mean, he rides a motorcycle, and he's got a helmet, and Reb Brown is just the worst actor ever. And I don't want to hear you talk about Uncommon Valor, because he's bad in that, too. Even though it's a good movie, he's bad in that. No, this Captain America, 1979, Christopher Lee is in it. Here's look, this tells you all you need to know. On the back of the box, where it says, stars Reb Brown... you know what it gives us his credit? The significant credit? They usually list another credit so you can reference him. Yes. It doesn't say Reb Brown, Uncommon Valor. It says, stars Reb Brown, parentheses, You're the Hunter from the Future.
Yeah.
That was a film that I actually worked. And I remember when the Italian producers of that thing came into the National Theater to gauge audience reaction, and they walked out just completely depressed and deflated beyond all comprehension because there were like 4 people in the theater, and they were clearly people who had walked into the wrong theater in the first place. You Are the Hunter from the Future is a terrible movie, and hysterically so. Go onto YouTube, search for You're the Hunter from the Future, and you'll see the opening credit sequence with the song.
It's the best. The song is the best.
The Your song. Oh, it's the best. It's absolutely the best. And that movie is just so hysterical.
All right, we have so much to get through.
I know we got so much to
get through.
He hang glides from a pterodactyl. The first season of the new Hawaii Five-0. This series is absolutely getting just bust up ratings. I don't get it. It's not even a shadow of what the original series was. What's going on? Is it just for the Hawaiian backdrops because there's no more Lost? Is that it? People just want to see the scenery?
Yeah, sure.
I guess.
Is the original really that good, honestly?
It
Come
is.
on.
Actually, it really is.
Is it just riveting storytelling?
It is.
Or is it just Bookham Dano with like the bank robbers were foiled? I mean, come on.
It's not. It's really good stuff. It's hardcore, man.
I think you hold those things up to this.
Oh, no, don't
You
do
put
it.
these things on a pedestal. They're really not that great.
No. There were shows. Look, I love Starsky and Hutch, but I readily admit there are maybe like 11 Starsky and Hutch episodes that are really genuinely, unbelievably just through the roof good. Like the setup. The setup is great. It's really good.
Oh, I love the setup.
And then
it's the one where they set something up.
Yeah. And then the 3-part episode where they where they quit and they throw their badges into the ocean, that one's great too. But no, Hawaii
And
Five-0.
the music swells. Like they're
is.
standing at the edge and the music swells.
Actually, it's a freeze frame.
Badge,
It's freeze frame to be continued.
Wow, exciting.
No, the Hawaii Five-0 has tons of great episodes. I mean, Darren McGavin is like a murderous drug dealing pimp whore guy, and Yogi
Berra,
Wofat,
and Yor.
Wofat. Yeah, Yor shows up.
All right,
no.
start talking.
Anyway, okay, first season of Hawaii Five-0, the new Hawaii Five-0 on Blu-ray, even before the original winds up on Blu-ray, is available only at Best Buy. Let me emphasize that this is a Best Buy exclusive. So if you're just going, where do I get my Hawaii Five-0 on Blu-ray? Go to Best Buy. You'll find it. You know what? It's fine. It just, I don't like the way that they try to tie this in with the original. So that bothers me a little bit. I don't think they needed to do that. Alex O'Loughlin playing, Lieutenant Commander Steve McGarrett. Come on, please don't do that.
They're trying to get older people to watch it.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
remember the original.
Oh, yeah. So I'll watch it about his son, like his son. No,
people
I'm
are
sorry.
stupid. They'll do. It's his son.
Not into it.
All right, Wade. The second season of V, which I did have high hopes for, it turns out not very good. This wound up being the last season of the brand new V. And
it was never good in the first place. The original V stank.
Oh, how dare you! It was the best. She ate the rat. When she ate the rat, that was like the seminal moment of my childhood.
That's wonderful. Name another great moment from the series. Because every person I've ever talked to who likes the original V, all they do is go, "But you ate the rat." Okay, great. So let's move that aside.
Yes.
Name another great moment from the series.
When he had the baby, and the baby was like there was somebody. One of them was pregnant, and they had like a weird alien baby. It was dramatic.
No, it wasn't. It was like really bad latex is what it was. It was terrible.
It was like 1983. It's the best. Well, it's
a few years earlier, David Lynch did a better effect in Eraserhead, so I don't want to hear it. For no money.
All right, that's fine. Anyway, so this is Blu-ray of Season 2. You know, I didn't like this show. I really didn't like Season 2 because, you know what, there were too many evil twin sisters. There was at least 2 episodes where like someone has like a twin sister who she didn't really have, but she's an alien. I didn't like that. You know, you really have to keep the cliched twin sister storylines. You got to get those to like seasons 7 or 8 or 9 when you really run out of ideas. Anyway, a couple special features on this thing, including a blooper reel. But you know what? Honestly, just rent the original.
I agree.
She ate the rat in the original.
You know what's awesome? The original Bionic Woman. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Season 3, Jamie Summers, loving it. This is an interesting series, interesting season of the series, by the way. You know that.
Tell us, Wade. Testify.
Okay. The 3rd season of The Bionic Woman. Do you remember what happens in the 3rd season?
That's where they introduce the bionic dog.
Very good.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kicked your ass.
Yeah,
you didn't think I would get that right.
Yeah.
That's right. Bionic dog.
Yeah, that's it. Do you remember what the bionic dog's name was?
I don't know, Steve. I don't know. Puddles. I don't know. Cupcake. I don't know. No, I knew it was the dog. I don't know his freaking name.
Okay, how much does it cost to build a Steve Austin or a Jamie Summers?
$6 million.
How much does it cost to build $1 million? Oh, see, I gave it away. I gave it away.
Don't stop the recording.
I'm not going to. It's he cost $1 million.
Is he called Millions?
He's called Maximilian.
Oh, ooh, clever.
Yes.
Maximilian.
Oh my gosh.
Love it.
Okay. Anyway, the Bionic Woman actually moved to a different network as well when they introduced Maximilian. It moved from ABC to NBC, which you would never know from this set. But anyway, I love this show. Can't get enough, and the music's great. Lindsay Wagner, just ageless beauty. I loved her then, love her now. I am so forgiving of this show and everything that it does wrong. It's a perfect show. That's all I can say.
It's a perfect show.
It's a perfect show.
In Treatment, not a perfect show, but a very good show. This is season 3 on DVD, folks. There's a thing called DVD now, which might be taking over for Blu-ray. I'm not sure. I'm hoping Blu-ray sticks around. It isn't replaced by DVD. Anyway, this is the 3rd season. You know, when HBO premiered this thing, it was kind of controversial because they aired it 5 nights a week.
Yeah.
This was like in 2008, 2009, whatever it was.
That.
And it was kind of a big deal. The 2nd season, very well received. Won a bunch of awards. The 3rd season, still just as good. You know, what's great about the 3rd season is that Deborah Winger's in the 3rd season.
Ooh, she was Wonder Woman's sister.
That's right. And the problem here
Drusilla.
Yes. Well, you know what? Deborah Winger, Oscar-nominated actress, disappeared through much of the 90s and the aughts and is now kind of, I guess she must be in her 60s now. She's finally making a bit of a comeback, so it's... I wish she would do real work again, Deborah Winger. I think she could really, surprise a lot of people because she's terrific in this show. Anyway, season 3 of In Treatment, Gabriel Byrne is just terrific in it, and it's a great show. It really is. Really is good stuff. Although it's on DVD, not Blu-ray.
Well, you know, it is what it is. You know what's on Blu-ray?
Star Wars.
A couple of great things that they do with the BBC. The PBS has released a couple of great BBC classic adaptations for television, which came over and make for beautiful Blu-rays, actually, much better than I expected. These are both the original uncut UK editions. One is Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights, and the other is Jane Austen's Northanger Abbey. Now, Northanger, I'm never going to pronounce it correctly, Northanger Abbey is not one of Jane Austen's better-known novels. At least it's one of those where you go, really? They haven't made that into a movie yet? I think there's a previous version for BBC television, but not that well known here, and it is really actually quite funny. It's a parody and very nicely done. Stars Felicity Jones, who's a terrific actress, and I hope she becomes a much bigger star. And Henry Tilney, who's pretty good, could be better, but honestly, I just think this is so much better than so much other Jane Austen that we see because it's really got a little edge to it, a little bit of bite. Wuthering Heights, of course, is Wuthering Heights. It's doesn't change. It's Heathcliff and Cathy, and we know them primarily from the original William Wyler film. Remember, Laurence Olivier played it. Yeah,
Heathcliff. He's the cat. He likes lasagna. No, it's Garfield.
No,
Heathcliff is another cat.
No. You know who plays Heathcliff here? Not Laurence Olivier.
Tom Hardy.
Yeah, look at that.
He's
just hardcore.
He's awesome.
He is. And not that, I don't want to put my sexuality into question here, but that dude's got sexy lips. He really does.
It's a little, you know what? It's a little
They're
feminine.
Like Angelina Jolie lips.
It's feminine.
Yeah.
Not into it. Not that
I'm not saying I'm
anyway,
into
but
it. I'm not saying I'm into it, but, it's like...
No, that's what you're saying, Wade. Go ahead.
I know sexy lips
Wade
when I see
is
them.
about to come out right now on the show. If Wade's wife is listening, I'm sorry.
And the actress who plays Cathy is Charlotte Riley. I've never heard of her before. I've seen better Cathys. There are at least a dozen of these different ones. I've seen better Cathys, but she's good. She's good. She can hold her own. So, and she's acting opposite Tom Hardy, which is no small feat. So, anyway, it's definitely worth checking out.
Wade, here's the thing with Robot Chicken.
Oh, gads.
It took a while, but you know what?
Heaven help us.
No, I get it. I'm on board.
I know you are.
Robot Chicken, funny.
Explain it to me.
It's, you know what? There are all these really short vignettes, and it's all spoofs of movies and TVs and pop culture stuff and commercials, and they're all acted out by dolls and action figures.
Right.
And they're all like little blackout sketches.
Yes.
And they have a lot of, it's like season 5 was I Dream of Jeannie stuff and Skeletor stuff and Smurf stuff.
And are they funny?
And Strawberry Short. Some of them really are.
Okay.
They have a lot of good guest stars. Olivia Munn is a guest star and Mila Kunis is a guest star.
Oh, huge guest stars.
Oh, come on. Macaulay
yeah,
Culkin.
Mila. Oh,
Christian
yeah.
Slater.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, how dare you. Andy Richter. You like Andy Richter? Kevin Bacon? Come on, get some. Emma Stone, Diablo Cody.
Emma Stone. Finally, there we go.
I get it. Robot Chicken season 5. I like it. Funny stuff. I admit it. Took me a while, but I get it.
Cat Dog season 1, part 1. Cat Dog this is like somebody saw Ren and Stimpy and said, "Oh, I could do something even weirder and sicker than that." Cat Dog, and that's one word. I just want to emphasize that's one word. Cat Dog this is like like Siamese Twins meets Ren and Stimpy meets The Odd Couple. That's the only way I can put it. It's just kind of twisted and weird, and it doesn't. I don't find it terribly funny, but it's one of the better things that's shown up as an original on Nickelodeon.
Look at that!
No,
there's something there that I must have or I'll die. A Blu-ray? No, go down, up. Can we not talk about this TV crap? And
we got Halloween to get to.
Well, then
Halloween stuff.
Okay, wait. Here we go. You ready? Here we go. You ready? Castle season 3. Lie to Me final season. Nobody cares. Dragon's Lair complete series. 2 just said whatever. 10 things I hate about you. It's the worst show ever. Dennis the Menace season 3. Please, God, who's going to watch that crap? Melissa and Joey. Some crap. No one cares about. Chuck final season. It's on Blu-ray. Whatever. I don't like that show. And Mike Judge's Most Wanted. Beavis and Butthead. You're better off with the Beavis and Butthead season sets. Wade, let's go. We're done. Enough with TV. Let's get on to Halloween and real movies. Do you really want to spend more time talking about
because people
Dennis
like
the Menace?
People like their
Look at
television.
all those Halloween movies and all those real movies.
Okay, I'm gonna. Fine.
Put it away.
Fine. Here we go.
Nobody
As
cares
Mark
about-
just said. Hold on. Beavis and Butthead. Mike Judge's Most Wanted. We just have to hold on. Lie to Me, the complete third and final season. Good bit for Tim Roth,
next,
right?
Best ever next.
Yeah. Chuck.
That's hilarious. Next.
Complete fourth season of Chuck.
You'd rather
on
talk
Blu-ray.
about this than The Conversation, one of my favorite movies of all time, The Conversation.
Well, we can talk about it, but it's like a
well,
lot of people out there
but you
are
have to
fans
talk about Dennis the Menace first.
Castle is one of the highest rated shows on television.
Oh my God, it's the best.
We have to talk about the complete third season of Castle, which comes out. Oh my goodness, look, there's a new season of Castle coming out Mondays at 9 Central.
Blah 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 blah.
Melissa and Joey. No, I never understood that. Melissa Joan Hart and Joey
Next.
Lawrence. Joey Lawrence, look at him. Look at him with the
Here's
no hair.
Chris Evert next.
No, we do have to give a little bit of time to these two. So really quickly, Dennis the Menace.
Oh yeah,
season 3.
Oh,
I know you hate it. I know you hate it. Did you never watch this show? Did you never watch Jay North and Dennis the Menace when you were a kid?
Okay, folks. Here's what Wade is not talking about. So he can talk about something you will never ever rent, never ever buy, never ever see, never ever care about. This
Third
is what
season
Wade,
of Dennis the Menace,
this is what
38
Wade's-
episodes. This is a
Wade's-
classic sitcom.
Oh, God.
And Dragon's Lair is important to talk about. This is the complete series of Dragon's Lair, the based on the video game, for crying out loud, the Don Bluth video game.
Yeah. I used to play that video game. All right.
Yeah, did you never watch it on television? Bet you didn't know it was on television.
I-
Did you? Sure.
Mother.
Sure.
Come on.
13 episodes,
You're killing
2
us.
DVDs.
You're killing the audience. You're killing me.
Okay, fine.
Thank you.
Done my duty.
We're not talking about this music stuff. Nobody cares. It's Halloween, and there are great movies out.
Okay.
My God.
All right, hold on. Here, let's start our Halloween coverage by talking about a movie that everybody wants. Wrong Turn 4, Bloody Beginnings. That's how it all began, Mark. Are you there?
I can tell you how it's going to end with me not caring. That's how it will end. Wrong Turn 4.
We're going to get right through this. Wrong Turn 4 on
What-
DVD and on Blu-ray.
What happened to Wrong Turn 2 and 3? What happened to Wrong Turn 1?
I don't know how this became a franchise. I really don't.
Wrong Turn is like Rob Schmidt, who's like a kind of nobody director.
I don't know how this became a franchise, but it is. So there
they're
we
all
go.
they're all direct to DVD.
I know they are.
They're
I know
direct
they
to
are.
Blu-ray.
I know. But, this is direct to DVD and direct to Blu-ray, and I don't have much affinity for these, but they are they do come with some substantial extras, mostly EPK type stuff, as we always point out, but it's decent for Halloween. It's, if you like the series, there's no better day to watch it than Halloween.
Everybody loves Sawtooth. Sawtooth, Wade.
Sure. The House by the Cemetery is a...
Ooh, the
What?
House by the Cemetery.
Boy, aren't you in a mood? My goodness. This is a Lucio Fulci Giallo
This
film.
is Giallo. I don't like Giallo stuff.
Nobody
I've
likes
said that
Giallo.
on the show before. I don't
But,
like Giallo stuff.
a lot of people do. And Blue Underground has released this in a Blu-ray, which is really, really sharp. Blue Underground does a great job with Blu-rays, as you might expect from their name, even though that's completely coincidental, because there was no Blu-ray when they first became Blue Underground. But a lot of really great stuff on here. Tons of interviews with people who made the movie. If you're a fan of Giallo, you will love this. It's loaded with interviews and behind-the-scenes stuff. And how do you look? It's Lucio Fulci. It's Giallo. I mean, it's a limited kind of a following.
Anchor Bay did a good DVD of this.
They did, but Blue Underground did a better Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Wolf has released Unhappy Birthday. Now, this isn't. Are you okay?
Happy birthday.
Unhappy Birthday. This is like a gay horror film. And Wolf releases, primarily gay titles, and they're known for it, but they're good titles. So it's not, this is very sensitive material. So you have to be very, very careful that you're not so it doesn't look like it's homophobic or whatever. But it does a really good job. It's creepy and it's not inaccessible. It's a crossover film in every conceivable way, and I think it does a really good job.
You know that band Dead or Alive that did "You Spin Me Right Round, Baby, Right Round Like a Record, Baby"? They had a song called "Unhappy Birthday."
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
And what I really think is cool about this is it takes place on this little island in the northeast area of England called Lindisfarne. It's beautiful and creepy all at the same time.
And ooky.
Yeah, sure
and
is.
Spooky.
So anyway, very, very sharp little film. So that is called Unhappy Birthday. It's creepy. It's good, intelligent film for Halloween.
And it's gay themed. You're saying it's gay themed?
Yes, it is.
Interesting. That is unique. I will give them that.
Here we go. Mark. Collector's Edition, Casper the Friendly Ghost, the complete collection.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Come on.
This is what you want to watch to really scare you on Halloween. No, not really. This is every single Casper cartoon ever in a slimline case edition. It's like 2 little slimline cases.
Love it.
7 hours worth of stuff. Every short between for almost. It's like an 18-year period that they made Casper. And this is, of course, from Shout Factory. They just do an unbelievable job. Shout Factory working with Classic Media, who released the previous edition.
We love Shout Factory.
We love Shout
you
Factory.
You realize how long Casper's been around? Casper's been
gosh,
around
forever.
since like World War II.
I know.
Oh, and by the way,
yes.
In the Casper movie, his piece of trivia. In the Casper movie,
yes,
it was like, 10 years ago, whatever it was, 15 years ago. For the first time, you actually get to learn Casper's last name.
Schwartz?
No. Would you like to know what it is?
Sure.
McFadden.
Casper McFadden.
Swear to God.
What the hell?
Now, I'm not sure if the movie... I guess the movie is considered canon.
Yeah.
As they would say in the comic book world.
Of course.
So I guess if it's canon, I guess then his name really is Casper McFadden.
Well, that's weird. All right, well, lots of great special features here. There are some sensational audio commentaries with Mark Arnold, who is editor of the Harveyville Fun Times. I never even knew that existed. Along with Edmee Wright, who is the widow of the co-creator of Casper, Seymour Wright, and then voice actors Bradley Balke and Alison Arngrim. Some great interviews here, cool galleries, and it's terrific. I really,
awesome.
Casper is just, he rocks.
Yep.
I mean, really, you don't have to watch
stuff.
Something scary on Halloween. Casper's a great thing to watch with the kids.
I agree. This is good stuff. Like it. I'm on board.
Hang on.
So Staub.
Stobe.
It's not Staub.
I think it's Stobe.
Because the Mets, one of my favorite hitters from the Mets in the late 70s, early 80s was Rusty Staub. In fact, in Little League, my batting stance was patterned after Rusty Staub. Him and John Milner, but mainly Rusty Staub. So I figured, Staub.
Well,
but maybe not.
Nobody ever got him wet, though, did they?
He
was already rusty, so never mind.
What?
Okay, Island of Lost Souls. It's a pretty great movie. You've seen Island of Lost Souls, haven't you?
The 1933, whatever it is, the 30-something?
Yes, 1932.
32. I was on one year off.
This may very well be the best pre-code, or even the most famous pre-code film ever made. Pre-code films are a fascinating bunch. There's a lot of them out, but they're mostly noirs and a few dramas and, melodramas and things. Island of Lost Souls, it's important because this is out in an unbelievably cool Blu-ray edition from Criterion Collection. This is the 1932 version of the first major adaptation of H.G. Wells' Island of Dr. Moreau. Now, the Island of Dr. Moreau that I got to know and that you probably got to know was Michael York.
Michael York, yeah.
Yeah. And
you didn't like the Marlon Brando one where he was called like Dr. Moreau or The Island or something? Remember Marlon Brando played in one of those?
Yeah. I was actually, that was the one that was done by Richard Stanley. Well, Richard Stanley was supposed to direct it, but it wound up being John Frankenheimer when Richard Stanley got fired. You know that story, right?
I do not.
Oh my gosh, it's an epic story. Richard Stanley has been in my house. He's the strangest man imaginable, but brilliant. I just don't know why anyone. Well, it's a long story. We can talk about it. Our friend Eitan was good friends with Richard Stanley.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened to Eitan?
I don't know. Oh, I do know, actually. It's a long story. I'll tell you after the show.
This is great stuff.
I'll tell you after the show.
This is riveting podcasting.
Ian gave me the whole scoop the other day.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It's a pretty great story.
Wow.
Yeah. Happy things happen to happy people.
Oh, good.
No.
Is that why miserable things happen to miserable people? Does that explain me?
I don't know. Maybe. That's an existential question for which I have no answer.
This movie was banned in the UK. This movie did not get a certificate in the UK.
Isn't that great?
In the early 30s.
Yeah.
And beyond, by the way, because they kept submitting it for certificates in the 50s as well, and it wouldn't get it.
I know. This transfer is gorgeous. This is such a well-photographed film. The cinematographer Karl Struss is one of those great German expressionist guys who came right out of the German silent school, and it's just so cool. Look, it's Island of Dr. Moreau, right? He experiments on people, turns them into animals. It's great. It's creepy. It's creepy as all hell. Yeah,
H.G. Wells.
Charles Lawton is just the best Dr. Moreau ever. Anyway, here's what you get in the extra commentary. You get the extras. Audio commentary with film historian Gregory Mank, who I've never heard before and does a very, very good job. And then there's this kind of a really, really cool little conversation on the film between John Landis, Rick Baker, the Rick Baker, like makeup Rick Baker wizard,
of course,
and Bob Burns, who's kind of a fanboy guy. And then there's interviews with all kinds of other fun people, including who were we just talking about, Mark? Richard Stanley.
Richard Stanley.
Yes. Who talks about the whole nightmare from that 1996 film a little bit. And there's even on here, this is my favorite thing on here, there's a 1976 short film by Devo featuring Secret Agent Man and Jocko Homo.
Awesome. What?
Totally.
Jocko Homo?
Jocko Homo. The Devo song, Jocko Homo. Gosh. Anyway, Island of Lost Souls. It rules.
Yep, it's good
best.
stuff.
Absolutely the best.
Pre-code stuff. Love that pre-code stuff.
Oh, it's so good. All right. Oh, what else we got over here? Hold on.
You tell me, Uncle Wade.
I'm moving through. I'm motoring through this because I know you want to get to the other stuff. You know what? We have another Lucio Fulci Blue Underground Blu-ray here.
Boo.
More Giallo.
Boo.
But this is one that I remember when this was released theatrically, and I remember it because I remember that one sheet.
Oh, I remember that too.
Don't you remember that?
I mean, because that zombie, he can't be alive.
I know. This is the movie Zombie. And it had the gnarliest one sheet. It was just like this decaying, rotting skull with teeth falling out and a fistful of worms in the eye socket. It was the most disgusting one sheet. To this day, I still can't believe that was approved by the MPAA. I just can't believe it because they wouldn't approve it today. There's no conceivable way. Anyway, this was probably I haven't been able to confirm this, but I would guess this is probably the most commercially successful film that Lucio Fulci ever got released in the United States.
Well, because it was totally like the Italian answer to Dawn of the Dead.
Exactly. And it was actually supposed to be kind of an unofficial sequel to Dawn of the Dead in some respects. So it was known as Zombie Flesh Eaters in some places. And anyway, very, very good transfer for a movie that's really not that well photographed to begin with. Radio spots, TV spots, all kinds of really cool, funky retro stuff on here. Behind-the-scenes junk, all really loaded up with extras. A terrific 2-disc Blu-ray set. You know what? Again, Lucio Fulci fans are going to eat it up. Oh, did I say eat it up?
Oh, zombie. Ooh.
All right. Okay.
Oh, I want this.
Why?
Give me. Because I have the other ones. I might as well have this.
You have the other whats?
Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park's on Blu-ray. All three.
All three in
Come
one
on.
set.
Give me Wade. Give me Unky Wade. Please, Unky Wade.
We'll make an arrangement for favors after the show.
Oh, I can't tell if that's a yes or no. Jurassic Park is on Blu-ray. You know what? I honestly, I don't know how many people have really revisited the Jurassic Park
Look, basically
films. They're good.
They are good, and there's nothing new on this set. There really isn't. It's
No, but it's
just
got nice packaging. It
It's
says
got very nice packaging.
Open here, and it tells you all about it. Welcome to Jurassic Park. It's 7.1 audio is totally awesome. There's a whole bunch of new featurettes on it. The original totally holds up. It's a great film. It really does. I like it a lot. There's lots of good bonus features. Jurassic Park 3, not really that much into Jurassic Park 3, to be honest
I like
with you.
Jurassic Park 3. I do.
Really?
I admit it. I totally admit it. I really like that film.
The original Jurassic Park looks great. 1.85 to 1 aspect ratio, 1080p, looks fantastic. There is some digital noise reduction on it, but it's okay. It's all good, and it looks great. I liked it a lot. It's a good. I mean, that's the best of the bunch. Jurassic Park 2 I liked also. Again, as Wade and I are saying, Jurassic Park 3 not that great.
I like it.
Not that great.
No, I do. It has pterodactyls in it, which reminds me of Yor because he hang glides from pterodactyls.
Yes, he does.
See how we tie everything back in?
That's why
it's
we
comedy.
love him.
That's what makes it.
Anyway, if you had a choice between getting just Jurassic Park or getting this whole thing, I would probably say get the whole thing because The Lost World is pretty good. Yes, you're getting Jurassic Park 3, which isn't that great, but you are getting The Lost World. So I would say pick this one up. Ultimate Trilogy, Jurassic Park. Good stuff.
Totally. All right. There is a sick, twisted, but surprisingly compelling film here called A Serbian Film. This is on Blu-ray and on DVD. The Blu-ray is actually really good because the film relies on very contrasty photography in places, and I think it serves it really well. I mean, you do notice a substantial difference between what's kind of a chalky, grainy Blu-ray and a very, very sharp chalky, grainy DVD and a very sharp Blu-ray. This is a brand new film. I don't know. This is really creepy stuff. It basically takes place in Serbia. And it's about a guy who used to be a porn star who now has a happy family life, and he is drawn back into for financial reasons, drawn back into the pornographic world, but it's not really what it appears to be. Don't want to give any of that away, but it's pretty psychotic. I guess you could compare this in some respects with the Saw films, but if that's your vibe, check out A Serbian Film. Don't buy it, rent it probably because you're only going to watch it on Halloween, and then you're going to go, "Ooh, I don't really want to see that again." But it's worth a Halloween viewing for sure.
Speaking of things not to be seen again, we have Atrocious, which is a film from 2010. It's a horror film. It's one of those found footage type movies. It's about this family. They're found dead, and the police discover this material, this footage material, and then they look at the footage and they find out what happens to the family, and it's edited into a horror movie. It's all very meta, blah blah. It's not that great. And I gotta say, I am very, very surprised at the success of Paranormal Activity 3.
Yeah, I am
that
too.
That thing opened at almost $60 million.
That just makes no sense to me.
I don't understand that.
I don't either.
And the funny thing is that it got a bunch of good reviews.
Yeah, but why? Yeah, whatever.
Don't get it. Really don't.
I don't get it either. All right, we got a bunch of compilations here. I'm going to blow through these real quickly because these are all self-explanatory, and they come from Echo Bridge. One is the Children of the Corn collection. Mark, guess how many Children of the Corn movies are on this?
There's been a lot of those stupid movies, by the way.
I know. I always thought there were like 2 or 3.
No, there's like 6 or something.
6.
6.
7.
7.
8.
What?
No, here we go. It's the funny thing is that the one movie that's not on here is Children of the Corn. The original Children of the Corn.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's not on here. But they have Children of the Corn 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 6, and 7. So 6 Children of the Corn films, 6 of the 7 are on here, but the original Children of the Corn is not on here because I guess that didn't make it to the Echo Bridge collection. Miramax is licensing that perhaps to Lionsgate? Don't know. And then also, along the same lines, we have the Hellraiser collection. Guess how many Hellraiser movies there have been, Mark?
6.
7.
Really?
8.
No.
9.
How many?
8.
8?
8.
You've got to be kidding.
No, 8. And this has 6 of them. Guess which ones are not on here?
5 and 9.
1 and 2.
The only ones you care about are not on there.
1 and 2 are not on here. But then you get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, Hellraiser 8 Hellworld, to be honest, is not bad. It really isn't.
Why did you even see that?
I was curious. I want to see where it all wound up. I Pinhead. What can he keep it going? It's not bad. They kind of reinvented it in an interesting way down there. The Halloween collection. There's a theme going on here, Mark. You know that.
Wait, hang on. Here's how many Halloweens there were.
I can't. It's like 12 by now.
There's over 10. Aren't there over 10?
Yeah, it's a ton. There's only 3 on here.
Oh,
yeah. There's only 3 on here because most of the Halloween films are not in the Miramax library. So this just includes the ones that Miramax was able, has rights to. This is Halloween H2O, Halloween Resurrection, and Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers.
I think those are 3 of the more recent ones.
Yes, they are. Absolutely. But, it's enough. It's the same deal over and over. We got the Wes Craven collection. This is 3 Dracula movies. I didn't even realize Wes Craven had done these Dracula movies. But there's Dracula 2000, Dracula 2 Ascension, and Dracula 3 Legacy. These are all Wes Craven presents. Don't think for a second that Wes Craven actually directed any of these. He slapped his name on.
You realize who stars in Dracula 2000? Gerard Butler.
I know.
Who, by the way, what happened to him? He's slipping a little bit. He's slipping.
Well, Machine Gun Preacher is getting him.
No one cares about that. That stupid Jennifer Aniston thing. That was terrible, and he's losing it.
Bunch of creepy midnight horror films here on the Deadly Games 6-movie pack. This is also a bunch of stuff from Echo Bridge. It includes these movies: Closets, Memory, Darkness, Momentum, The Prophet's Game, and From the Dead of Night. Have you heard of any of these, Mark?
I have not.
With good reason. None of them are very, very good. But if you just want to start, this is good for? This is good for like a Halloween marathon. It's an inexpensive disc. It's got 6 movies on it. If you're having a party or you're having a haunted house or whatever, just throw them on. Also, if you want to do something along those same lines, the Prophecy collection, the Prophecy series, also from Miramax. You know how many of these films there are, Mark?
All I know is that the original starred Christopher Walken and was very good. The rest I can't vouch for.
Well, that's on here. Hey,
wow.
Nothing's missing. This is all 4 films from the Prophecy series. The Prophecy, Prophecy 2, Prophecy Uprising, and The Prophecy Forsaken. And yes, you know what? The original has Christopher Walken, as does the sequel, and absolutely worth checking out. So that's a good bunch of Halloween juice there.
Yes, it is.
And we got some Elvira stuff. Mark, are you a fan of Elvira like I am?
No.
I know you're not.
I'm kind of not, actually.
I love Elvira.
I mean, I get the whole schlock thing, this exploitation cinema, blah, blah, but you know what?
No?
Well, because when she first came out, whenever it was in the 80s, I didn't know what exploitation cinema was at that point because I was too young. So to me, I didn't know what she was spoofing. And now that I know, I don't care.
You, Mr. Mystery Science Theater, and I will take my Elvira. Well, here's what we got on the Elvira front. We've got Elvira's movie Macabre, and Elvira, of course, basically stole her whole act from Vampira.
That is true.
And I'll have some information on Vampira momentarily, because, we interviewed Vampira before she passed away for Schlock. Ray Green and I did. So there's more coming on that. More coming, I'll tell you. I'll tell you very soon. Anyway, Elvira's movie Macabre. This is a double feature of The Terror with Ega. Mark, that's Ega with 2 E's.
Yeah.
The Terror is actually a really cool film, by the way. It's a Roger Corman-directed film with Jack Nicholson and Boris Karloff, which we also discussed in Schlock, The Secret History of American Movies. And it's fun watching Elvira comment on it, I've got to say. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Not the best transfer of any of these films, but, the whole Elvira vibe is just great. The Terror is terrific. And then we also have The Brain That Wouldn't Die and The Manster. The Brain That Wouldn't Die is also a movie that we talk about in our film. And I love The Brain That Wouldn't Die. It's so freaking creepy. It's unbelievable. The Manster, less creepy, but The Brain That Wouldn't Die is a real classic. It's a real kind of quasi-Frankenstein classic. So you get, on these 2 double features, each one has a ringer. Each one also has a really, really classic exploitation film. And then we have an actual feature film starring Elvira called Elvira's Haunted Hills. This is look. What Haunted Hills do you see on the cover?
You didn't even have to tell me. You didn't even have to tell me.
I know, right? We know what that's a reference to. Anyway, this is kind of a silly film because it's all the Elvira movies, and there've been about 3 or 4 of them, I think. They're all just camp fun and wacky, nutty, and this is a good one. It's Elvira just kind of going through the motions, and there's a weird castle and a freaky guy in it, and the story doesn't really matter. Listen to the audio commentary with Cassandra Peterson and a bunch of the other collaborators on the film. Watch some of the outtakes. Have a good time. That's all you need to know.
Wait, Mothman is a film.
The Mothman Prophecies?
There was a film called Mothman Prophecies, which
This is not it.
I wanted to like a lot, and I didn't like a lot because it was directed by Mark Pellington and was with Richard Gere and Laura Linney. This one, however, not that one. This one was actually made for television, and it stars a pretty young lady named Jewel State, I think her name is. And it takes place in D.C., and this woman's a journalist, and she comes back to her hometown to cover this festival, this Mothman Festival, and reconnects with her friends. And then it turns out there's a drowning involved, like a tragic death, and they have to all put it together. It's really not that great. It was directed by a guy named Sheldon Wilson, who really never amounted to like all that much. He did a lot of crappy stuff like Mega Cyclone and Killer Mountain. So really, of all the Halloween movies you could possibly watch, not much reason to watch Mothman. You're better off watching Mothman Prophecies. At least that had Mark Pellington.
Boo.
And Richard Gere. I like Richard Gere.
Yeah, okay. We like him. He's all right.
Wait, I just read this book by Steven Soderbergh.
Yes.
And I didn't realize that Soderbergh did a huge pass on the script for Mimic.
Did he really?
He did.
Serious?
Yes, he did.
No kidding.
He knew Guillermo del Toro, and it was a for-hire job. But he did a whole bunch of secret, uncredited, I believe uncredited, I don't think he's ever been credited on it, rewrites for this. Which probably explains why there's anything decent character-wise or dialogue-wise in the film.
I got another Echo Bridge title that I had neglected to mention.
I was talking about Mimic.
Sorry, go ahead. Finish Mimic.
It's good.
Go ahead. It's all right. It's okay.
You know what? It's okay. It's Del Toro kind of learning his way through this sort of dark, creepy
he's growing.
genre. But he's grown amazingly well, and now he's fantastic.
It's very funny when you hear him talk about the film, actually. He kind of makes light of it.
Yeah, but it's got a terrific cast. It's got Mira Sorvino and Josh Brolin and F. Murray Abraham, and it's really not that bad. And the Blu-ray looks good.
There's, as I was saying, there's one other Echo Bridge title this week that I had neglected to mention. It's a compilation, again, with called the Psycho Stalkers Collection, 6 movies. And there's actually some interesting stuff here. The movies in question are 213, as in the time, 2:13, Salvage, Asunder, Descendant, Bleeding Rose, and Mother's Boys. Mother's Boys, directed by Yves Simoneau, with Jamie Lee Curtis along with Peter Gallagher. Not a bad cast at all. Yves Simoneau, not a bad director. Mark, you would love the movie Descendant. You know why?
Because it stars George Clooney. It's directed by Alexander Payne.
No, because it stars Katherine Heigl. That's why.
Does she die at the end? Literally die at the end?
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you. But she plays an indirect descendant of Edgar Allan Poe.
Don't you love looking at Catherine? Don't you love thinking about Katherine Heigl and then thinking about like Jessica Chastain and realizing that like one is an angel and one is the devil?
By the way, you seen the new one sheet for that Katherine Heigl film coming out in like 3 or 4 weeks or whatever it is?
No, what is it?
I can't remember the title, but she's got dark hair, as if that's the problem. All along. Oh, of course, no one took her seriously because she was blonde, so now she'll dye her hair and make a horrible movie. And
speaking of horrible movie, Torso. You know what I love about these Italian horror films is that they always have the one token American. It's like you read the credits and it's like Ernesto Colli, Angela Covello, Luciano Bartoli, John Richardson. Like
awesome.
Or winds up being Luciano Dell'Ambrosio, Enrico DeMarco, Giorgio Dolphin, John Savage. How'd that happen? They always have like the token American.
I know.
This one has a couple token Americans, Susie Kendall and Tina Almont, and this is a film Torso by Sergio Martino. I honestly couldn't watch this whole thing because it's just not my cup of tea. I don't like this stuff. It's all about these sexy co-eds who are being killed in wherever the hell they are. It's just lame.
The title is Torso. I think we know.
Yes. What is this?
I know. We'll get to that. Something Weird Video, great library. I'm very fond of the people at Something Weird because when we made our film Schlock, The Secret History of American Movies, Something Weird. Hey, I'm going to
You always have to give the subtitle also. You can't just say Schlock.
Because Schlock is also a film by John Landis. We don't want it to be confused. And John Landis was one of the first people to actually buy a copy of Schlock before we even put it out on DVD.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
He bought it right off the website.
How do you know that?
Because Ray took the order. John Landis.
Really?
How many are there?
Wow.
Yeah.
So did Ray email and go, hey,
Yeah.
John?
He signed it for him.
Oh, really?
Signed it for him, yeah.
Wait. So Ray signed the DVD for
Landis. Yeah.
That's funny.
Pretty sweet, huh? Anyway, no, Something Weird has come out with a great trilogy of things that are perfect for Halloween. One of them is the Godfather of Gore, Herschel Gordon Lewis. Herschel Gordon Lewis, as anybody knows, was an exploiteur. He made a lot of early kind of nudie cuties and then segued into gore films where he made himself a reputation as the guy who just made the bloodiest of the bloody, the most horrible of the horrible. His films include things like 2000 Maniacs and the Wizard of Gore. And he became known as the Godfather of Gore for good reason. So this is a terrific kind of tour of his fame and his infamy, and you get some great interviews with people who knew him, worked with him. It's good, really, really good. A lot of people that show up actually in our film as well. And
wait, your film, which is called
Schlock: The Secret History of American Movies. And in order to sort of, as a kind of a pair with that, there's a Blu-ray of what has become known as Herschel Gordon Lewis's Blood Trilogy. And it includes these films, Blood Feast, Color Me Blood Red, and 2000 Maniacs. Now, Blood Feast is the one that kind of started it all. And they're gory. There's no reason to go into the plots of these things. They're just absolutely loaded with lots and lots of hokey blood. And what's wonderful here, the audio commentaries by Herschel Gordon Lewis and David F. Friedman, who was one of our great interview subjects in Schlock, The Secret History of American Movies. There you go. Laugh. Keep laughing. Keep laughing. David Friedman is an amazing guy, just a wonderful guy. Great commentaries. You're going to learn a lot about this very bizarre period of filmmaking and why it's important. And it's terrific. Really good Blu-rays, even though these films were made for like 3 cents and barely even used all of that. And then also from Something Weird is a Basket Case, which is this weird cult film by director Frank Henenlotter. And I'm not a huge fan of Basket Case. I think it's
can I admit something?
Yeah.
When I saw Basket Case, I saw it because the poster, the one sheet, which is kind of represented on the Blu-ray, totally freaked me out.
And that's why you went and saw it.
Yeah, it was no better or worse than any of those other movies from that era.
Yeah,
I mean, seriously,
that's true.
it's from what year is that thing in from? Something like 82 or something.
81, I think it was. Yeah. Well, anyway, it kind of bridges, from the 70s exploitation films to the 80s exploitation films, which go a little bit more mainstream. But it's it's a little cheesy, and the bizarre stop motion animation work is what kind of distinguishes it. So that's why a lot of people really like it. As it happens, I actually also starred in a movie called Basket Case, though not this one. Did you know that? I starred in a movie called Basket Case.
Really?
That's right. Short film, USC short film made by Matt Reeves, director of Let Me In.
Wait, hang on. What's that sound?
Not caring? Yeah, there you
That's
go.
you name dropping. A name just dropped down onto the floor. Exploded. All right, wait, we still have some Blu-rays to talk about before we wrap it up, so let's get this Halloween crap out of the way. All right, while you're fuddling and fuddling, Halloween Party DVD pack. This is a 2 DVD set. This is 2 from DreamWorks. These are direct-to-DVD, actually television specials, spin-offs of Shrek and Monsters vs. Aliens. We have Scared Shrekless and Monsters vs. Aliens, Mutant Pumpkins from Outer Space. Both of these are short, mercifully short, and both of them, gladly, feature the original talent from the film. Scared Shrekless does include Mike Myers, and Mutant Pumpkins does include Reese Witherspoon and Seth Rogen. So they definitely got all the original voice actors back, which is good because they're all A-listers. And it's good stuff. There's a cute little spoof on Michael Jackson's Thriller. And, if the kids want more Shrek and they want more Monsters and Aliens, is the only way to get it, because there'll be no more Shrek films. I certainly hope not. And there'll be no more Monsters and Aliens.
And hopefully no more Puss in Boots films.
You know what? I passed on it. I didn't see it. Did you see it?
No. Why? Seriously, why? Okay, we're going to blow through the rest of these real quickly. From Bloody Disgusting Selects is Phase 7, which is essentially yet another zombie movie. This one's set in Argentina. It's probably kind of like a cross between 28 Days Later and Wreck, the Mexican film. Phase 7, it's better than than The Horde, the French film that's basically the same plot. Actually, as long as we're talking about zombies, hold on. We have another zombie film here. Devil's Playground. That's another zombie film with Danny Dyer and Craig Fairbrass. Can't be his real name. Anyway, this is considered by many zombie experts to be a really cool zombie film. In this one, they've taken over London, not Argentina. But we've already done London with zombies and, the monkey virus and 28 Days Later and all that jazz. So, I mean, it's not great, but it's okay. Directed by Mark McQueen, not to be confused with Steve McQueen, the British director, not to be confused with the actor Steve McQueen. That would be the British director Steve McQueen, whose film Shame was recently just rated NC-17. Did you hear about that?
I did not.
Yep, his new film rated NC-17. Michael Fassbender, naked, porn.
Well, you know what I have here, Wade? Oh, yes, I have my Fox Searchlight. Proudly presents, for your consideration, October-November screenings.
Oh, really? Did you get that today?
Yes, I did.
Oh, good. I need that.
Shame is on there.
There you go.
Including The Descendants, and Martha, Marcy, and May Marlene.
Oh, The Descendants.
Did you see it?
No. What's going on in Best Picture?
It is not.
I swear it is. Steve Pond over at The Wrap thinks it will, too. I called it before Steve Pond did, though. But I think it's going to win. Descendants, Best Picture. Alexander Payne. Yeah, my boy. We were in school together. Yes, we were. That's another. I'm. Come on, make the sound.
What?
We were in school together. Thank you. Oh, I'm
Another
dropping
name
them today.
dropped.
Then we also have The Child's Eye, which is from the Pang brothers, who just really didn't get their Hollywood career up and running. The Pang brothers basically do, they work in Thailand, but they are ethnically Chinese. I won't get into the background of all of that, but they really make some very, very creepy films. The Eye is the one, of course, that everybody always focuses on, and this is The Child's Eye. And it's sufficiently creepy to definitely please their fans, but not another breakthrough by any means. The Dark Knight of the Scarecrow, another great exploitation film cult classic with some great performances there. This is from VCI, and this is their 30th anniversary edition on Blu-ray. Really, really, really surprisingly good transfer. Troma gives us not another B movie with David Faustino and Joe Estevez, along with that great, wonderful person who always shows up in all of these cheesy movies, Ed Asner. No, not Ed Asner. Well, Ed Asner's in this, but you know who else is in this, Mark? You know who else is in this? Read it and weep. The Chin.
Yeah, Robert Zadar.
Robert Zadar, who also starred in...
Zadar Wars?
No, The Legend of Wolf Mountain, which I worked on. Did I mention that?
Wait, honestly, this show's be like 4 hours long.
Okay, last two Halloween titles. Psycho Sleepover, also from Troma. It's friggin' Psycho Sleepover. Come on, it's funny.
That's great.
It's hysterically silly.
Great.
And then lastly, season 1 of Real Monsters from Nickelodeon, which is, not really quite Halloween worthy. It's not the least bit scary, but, the monsters are cool and groovy and icky and disgusting. And that's another fine title from Shout Factory. So there you go. That's line it up, man. There's a lot of stuff for Halloween.
Wow. We got through all of that. Now, we only have a few minutes left, Wade, so let's pick the ones we want to do.
Well, I'll let you start off by just going nuts on that.
This is one of my all-time favorite movies, and not only is the conversation finally on Blu-ray. By the way, here's the thing, Wade. This is the movie that Coppola made after The Godfather.
Yes.
He made this after The Godfather, but before...
Released the same year.
Yes, but before Godfather's 2 and obviously 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I love this film. And may I say that Gene Hackman is great in it, and as a audio surveillance dude. And you know what? This Blu-ray looks fantastic. It looks great, and it also honors the original material because in the film, Harry Call is eavesdropping on this couple, and Coppola shot the eavesdropping scenes in different stock so that it would look different from the rest of the film.
It's pretty great.
And luckily, when they did the Blu-ray, they didn't make all the film stocks match. They honored the fact that the surveillance film stock is a little grainier, a little fuzzier than the rest of it, which is just the right choice. And of course, because the whole idea is that Harry Call is this surveillance expert who listens in, he hears details and audio. The audio here is great with lots of detail. It's just great. And you know what? This thing is just chock-a-block with extras. Feature commentary by Coppola, which is fantastic. Another commentary by editor Walter Murch. Also, Harrison Ford was in this film.
I know.
And
I know.
his screen test is in this. This movie's the best. It's the best. The end. Go buy The Conversation. Why have you not bought The Conversation, everybody?
I know.
Yeah,
well,
I
you know
love
why
this
they haven't
movie.
bought it? Because they're saving up money to buy Captain America, the First Avenger, which was known around the world as just the First Avenger. Although I think somebody said that they actually did finally keep the original title, Captain America. Either way. Apart from all of my reservations going into this, I wound up actually really enjoying Captain America. Now, I didn't love it. I thought Joe Johnston definitely was trying to, directed by Joe Johnston, of course, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and The Rocketeer, going for a Rocketeer vibe, a little more kind of a retro 80s action approach to this. But I thought for the most part it worked. I thought it was good, despite the fact that it's incredibly derivative and it's just plugging into a formula that they perfected for all of these Marvel films. I thought it did fine, and it sort of set up the Avengers movie in a really cool way with, going back to World War II and being very faithful to the comics. So I enjoyed this. Now, what we have here is the Blu-ray 3D plus Blu-ray plus DVD plus digital copy set. The limited 3D edition. I don't think this movie benefits from 3D in any way whatsoever. It never should have been in 3D. And it just forget about the 3D aspect of it. Watch it in Blu-ray. I watched it again in Blu-ray. I think it's a much better. I enjoyed it more watching it high def, no 3D on Blu-ray than I did in the theater with those damn glasses on.
I like the film too, Wade. I do.
Yeah.
Yep,
So
I was on board. I mean, not 100% on board, but on board more than I thought I'd be.
I agree completely. Chris Evans, despite the fact that he was the Human Torch in the Fantastic Four, makes a nice transition to being a different superhero here. So he makes the Marvel transition perfectly well, and I didn't expect that he would. So way better than the Red Brown film for TV. No,
Hey, don't say something you can't take back.
Wouldn't that be great if Chris Evans wound up making like a big budget remake of Yor, the Hunter from the Future? It would bring everything together.
A 220. Actually, you know what? Disney will close down production on the Lone Ranger.
Yes.
And give $185 million to a remake of Yor.
That would be awesome. I would love for them to do that. Anyway, extras here include a really cool thing here. Marvel one-shot. Funny thing happened on the way to Thor's hammer.
On the way to the Thorum?
On the way to Thor's hammer. Rhymes kind of with form a little bit. Then tons of deleted scenes, a bunch of featurettes, and commentary by Joe Johnston, along with his DP, Shelley Johnson, and editor Jeffrey Ford. So, which is really a very good commentary. It's really interesting. One of the better ones I've heard in quite a while. So, and that being said, all of these extras are in high def. No standard def featurette nonsense here, folks. This is a Blu-ray to actually really savor. Lots of good stuff. So, of the superhero movies this summer, do we dare say that this is probably the best one? Better than Thor? This and Thor were pretty good.
I like Thor too.
Yeah.
I'd probably give the nod to Captain America. Only because, you know what? When I was a kid, I was not a Thor guy.
I know.
I was a Captain America guy.
I was a Thor guy. So there it is. All right, folks, have a fantastic Halloween. Save up some candy for the kids, and we'll see you next...
Don't give the kids the little bite-sized Snickers. Give the kids the big, regular Snickers. Don't be cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, give them the... Yeah.
Wade.
What he said.